Hi there, this is Izzy. And please don't tell my partner, but I got some more Neofinitias this week. But for some reason, I'm really excited about this shipment. So these are some Neos that I picked up on eBay. And this is my first time getting Neofinitias on eBay rather than going through a seller that I know. So these, I've got 3 Neofinetia falcata in here, and this also includes one of my most expensive Neofinitia purchases so far. So I'll get stuck right in. And here we have the first one. We have a shutenno. Now, shutenno is actually a really popular and common variety. First found in the Kochi prefecture in 1979. Shutenno is a red flower variety form of Neofinetia falcata. So people grow these specifically because of those little red flowers. And really they have a kind of white flower with pink tinges and a red base and a red peduncle to it, so red support. And they also have a lovely deep dark blush on the stem, which you can see down here hidden by some of this sphagnum moss that it's potted in. Oh, this shutenno is a fairly mature fan with another growth coming. How great is that? But this should be able to flower. I understand that shutenno can flower when they are smaller than other Neofinitias, when they've got 4 or so leaves rather than the 6 that are needed for most Neos to be mature enough to flower. So possibly I'll be expecting a little bit of flower action from this one this year. So this is one of the 3 that I'm expecting, and it's got a good root system, it's got an extra little growth, and it's quite a good size, so very pleased with that. Now, the second Neofinitia that I went for is actually not necessarily a fukuran, but probably a furan variety. So the difference between those words, it means the furan are the wild type of Neofinitias. They are very precious orchids, but the fukuran are registered varieties that have specific traits that you can breed through if you make not cuttings, but if you propagate on some of the growths from the individuals. And so this is more like a wild type orchid, but it's a pretty unusual one. It's an Amami Island variety of Neofinetia falcata. And the Amami Islands are an area of Japan that has a slightly different climate to the rest. I don't know if this has contributed to that, but the Neofinetia falcata found on the Amami Islands are said to be larger, broader leaves and larger flowers than most of the other Neofinitias found in Japan. So I'm expecting a large plant, even though this one is only a baby. So this is a very baby Neofinetia falcata that we have here. But already, in spite of its size, some of its leaves that are coming out of the base here are as large as these shutenno leaves coming out the top of a mature fan. So I expect this will get a fair bit bigger. These are supposed to grow into clumps quite rapidly also. The shutenno is meant to do that. So they are supposed to be large, good plants, but nothing too particularly unusual with their traits. Now, last but far from least, we have what is now my most expensive Neofinetia by leaf, and this is a komachimusume. There you go, komachimusume. Now, why is this expensive and why have I paid so much for it? Well, this plant, I'm not entirely sure whether it's a full species Neo or whether there might be some other species in its heritage, but this plant is known for having pink and white flowers that turn orangey yellow with time. So it has this kind of sunset effect in its flowers. It's very unusual, quite rare, pretty pricey, and someone was selling babies of this online and I just had to try it. So this one's got a little while to go before it's mature, as you can see from those two main leaves. But yes, this is going to be quite special and quite difficult for me to keep alive, perhaps. Now, why do I say I don't know whether it's a full species Neofinetia falcata or whether it is maybe has something else in the lineage? Well, Neofinetia generally have pink and red as possible flower colours, and there are some varieties like Shhh which have green flowers instead, and the wild type is white. Now, what they really rarely have is yellow. There are some specific varieties that have flowers that start white and turn yellow with time. But in general, having yellow or orange in the flowers is a sign that the Neofinetia has at some point been crossed with another species. And with the komachimusume, I don't know whether the flower colour that this is going to display one day comes from that fading effect of the flowers turning more yellow as they become older, or whether it's actually something to do with a cross with another species. But I'm looking forward to seeing those flowers anyway. And there you have it, my newest Neofinetia falcata haul. Quite an expensive one, fairly small plants this time, but I'm really excited about what they might grow up to be. I'm really excited that maybe the shutenno is going to flower this year, but we'll have to see. Maybe my partner will forgive me a little bit if some of my plants flower sometime soon. Uh-oh. Well, in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like. If you'd like to leave me any comments or feedback, please put them down below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to hear more, you can always subscribe to the channel. And for now, that's it. Hope to see you again soon. Bye!